Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, August 9th, 2024. Fire potential impacts for the next few days are shown here. We continue to have some wind impacts over northern Nevada and into southeast Idaho today, tomorrow, and then on Sunday the wind shifts further south over western Nevada and southern Nevada. For storms, we have another day of wet showers and thunderstorms over Utah, and those storms are moving a little bit further north into the central Utah mountains. And then we have some mixed wet dry storms up here in eastern Nevada, and then we have some mixed wet dry storms over the central Idaho mountains as well, pushing into western Wyoming today. On Saturday, the storms continue over the higher elevations of mainly the Salmon Chalice National Forest and eastward into western Wyoming. And then we have another round of generally wet thunderstorms over Utah. And then on Sunday, the storms will be mostly limited to Utah, and these should be on the wetter side. Okay, yesterday we had some showers and thunderstorms, mainly over southern Utah and far southern and southeast Nevada, and then a few strikes here in the central Nevada higher elevations there. Recent fire activity is shown here. We had 14 new fires for 111 acres yesterday, and our large fire growth was over 60,000 acres, and about 57,000 of those acres were on the Paddock fire here in western Idaho. ERCs are on the upward trend across much of the northern and western portions of the Great Basin with the warm and dry conditions up there. Further south over southern Utah, the values have been decreasing as the moist air mass is moving into Utah. A closer look at some of our PSAs here. ERCs for the Boise National Forest are showing those values right around average for the time of year, and they should stay there for the next week or so. And then further south over the Uinta Mountains, we can see those values are setting new historical records for the time of year. It's been quite dry up there, but with the forecast and the moisture that's expected to be moving into Utah over the next few days, ERCs will be dropping quite significantly over the next 3 to 4 days. This morning's satellite imagery showing high pressure continuing to be in place over the southern half of the Great Basin, keeping things warm across much of the area. And then we have this trough moving into the Pacific Northwest, which is helping to enhance some of those storms or create some storms over the central Idaho mountains today. And then the moisture in place over Utah will kick off generally wetter showers and thunderstorms today as well. Smoke for this afternoon is shown here on the left, with smoke across much of the north Idaho, western Wyoming, and portions of northeast Nevada, and a little bit into Utah, although not quite as thick as further north. And then on Saturday, same story, most of the smoke remaining over Idaho. We do see a little bit of clearing in some of the thickness by Saturday afternoon. So for this afternoon, we have high-risk triggers issued for the east central Idaho mountains and western Wyoming for those mixed wet, dry thunderstorms moving into the area there. Maximum temperatures today will be pretty hot again in Utah and Nevada and up into southwest Idaho. A little bit cooler in western Wyoming. The image on the right shows where we're expecting to see that precipitation this afternoon, so mainly over eastern Idaho into western Wyoming and across the higher elevations of Utah, and a few isolated storms there in southern Nevada. Wind gusts for this afternoon are a little bit elevated over the Sierra Front and up into northern Nevada. And of course, gusty outflow winds will accompany any thunderstorms in Idaho and in Utah. Minimum relative humidities are fairly low across Nevada and the southern Idaho, with higher values over Utah and up into western Wyoming, and kind of a mix there in the central Idaho mountains. On Saturday, high-risk triggers are issued for wind for much of northern and western Nevada and up into southern and southeast Idaho, ahead of this little trough moving into the Pacific Northwest. And then we have a high-risk trigger in the Salmon Chalice area for another day of thunderstorm activity there. Closer look at the winds, showing the winds pick up a bit for Saturday over northern Nevada, especially northeast Nevada and along the Sierra Front, and then some gusty winds in the upper Snake River Plain as well. Precipitation on Saturday is shown here with a better chance of some showers over the east central Idaho mountains and into western Wyoming, and then another good day for showers and thunderstorms over Utah. On Sunday, the trough digs a little bit further south along the west coast, keeping showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for Utah, but also enhancing some winds over southern Nevada, and these winds will be on the dry be accompanied by low relative humidities. Closer look at these winds showing some wind speeds really picking up in southern Nevada, gusts 35, 40 miles an hour possible in these deeper pinks. Winds will be gusty in Utah as well, but the relative humidity is higher in these areas as precipitation is ongoing across much of the state of Utah on Sunday. 3-day precipitation totals are shown here. The precipitation expected over the north is going to come today into Saturday, and then the precip over Utah will be each day, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then into the first of next week as well. On Monday, trough remaining along the west coast over the Pacific Northwest, keeping some gusty winds in place over southern Nevada, and then also allowing the showers and thunderstorms to continue over Utah. On Monday, we'll actually see this moisture surge a little bit further northward into the northern Wasatch Front and into western Wyoming again. On Tuesday, that trough moves a little bit further eastward, and that will bring enhanced winds to much of western and central Nevada and up into southwest Idaho as well. Moisture staying in place over over eastern Utah and up into western Wyoming. We could see some storms over the central Idaho mountains Tuesday into Wednesday, accompanying this little low pressure trough here. In fact, we do have high risk on Wednesday for some of those storms. We'll be keeping a close eye on the timing of those storms as well. And then on Wednesday, as that trough moves through, we'll see gusty winds again over western and central Nevada. And as we head into the second half of the work week next week on Thursday, it looks like another trough is beginning to develop off the Pacific coast, but keeping things dry over Utah and Nevada, right on the edge of some of that troughiness further north and west. And 7-day precip totals are shown here. Not much change from the short term other than we see more precipitation over Utah and up into western Wyoming as moisture will surge a little bit further northward at the first of next week, Sunday into Monday. The extended forecast for August 16th through the 22nd puts warm temperatures in place across much of the Great Basin. And precipitation-wise, we see some signals for above normal precip over eastern Utah, and then some above normal over the Pacific Northwest, possibly moving into the central Idaho mountains as well. So kind of an interesting forecast for the second half of August. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on it as we head forward. That concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.